Let me begin with a truth many men find hard to swallow. A woman can love you and still take you for granted. These two things are not mutually exclusive. In fact, it happens far more often than you might think. And the most unsettling part? Most women do it unconsciously. They do not wake up scheming about how to disregard you. Rather, they slip into it gradually, like falling asleep, and they rarely notice until you are gone, or until you stop chasing. That is when the silence grows heavy. That is when the absence becomes deafening. Now, as a woman who has lived long enough to watch generations stumble through relationships, I will tell you, women are not cold-hearted strategists by nature. We are emotional creatures. We crave connection, yes, but we also test, prod, and sometimes misuse the devotion shown to us. It is not always malice, it is often blindness. We grow accustomed to what is steady, mistaking patience for passivity, mistaking consistency for lack of alternatives. The danger for men is this. If you allow yourself to be endlessly patient without boundaries, a woman may unconsciously reframe your devotion as weakness. Here is where the Stoics would urge you to pause. Epictetus taught, "You may be unconquerable if you enter into no contest in which it is not in your power to conquer." Think about that in the context of love. If you define your worth by whether a woman recognizes it, you have entered a contest you cannot control. You have handed her the keys to your dignity, and when she withholds acknowledgement, you crumble. That is not love. That is enslavement. Women often begin to miss men only when those men reclaim their self-respect. When your energy shifts, when you are no longer at her beck and call, a woman feels a shock in her spirit. It is not your punishment that strikes her, it is your absence. Silence speaks louder than pursuit ever could. When you detach, not out of spite, but out of self-possession, she senses it, and this is often when longing begins. You see, men waste much energy asking, "What did I do wrong? Why did she stop appreciating me?" The better Stoic question is, what is within my control? You cannot control her perceptions, her gratitude, or her maturity, but you can control your boundaries. You can control whether you allow yourself to be diminished, and you can control the standard you hold for how you are treated. Now, let me explain the female side, honestly. A woman becomes complacent not because you lack value, but because she assumes your presence is permanent. She assumes you will always text first, always check in, always smooth over conflicts. She grows familiar with the rhythm of your pursuit, and familiarity, unguarded, breeds entitlement. Then one day, you stop. Your name vanishes from her notifications, your energy recedes, and suddenly, she realizes the rhythm she took for granted has ceased. Confusion sets in. She checks her phone more often, she scrolls your social media, she wonders what you are doing, and why you are not doing it with her. That void stirs her ego, and then her heart. The Stoics remind us, absence is a teacher. Just as winter teaches us to appreciate the warmth of spring, silence teaches a woman the weight of what she overlooked. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." When a woman loses your constant presence, she confronts the change. She realizes she mistook your devotion for background noise. And now, the quiet forces her to notice. Do not misunderstand me. This is not about manipulating a woman by pulling away. It is about restoring balance. If she has been leaning on your presence as if it were air, then your silence reveals to her the reality. You are not air. You are a man, with boundaries, with dignity, with choices. That realization unsettles her, and it should. When women begin to miss a man, it often starts not with grand memories, but with the little things. The morning text, the way he noticed her fatigue, the snack he brought home without being asked. These are not luxuries, they are proofs of attention. Yet because they were consistent, she assumed they would never end. Only in absence does she feel their weight. She begins comparing new men to you. She notices how shallow others feel. She realizes that what she dismissed as ordinary was in fact rare. But here lies the Stoic lesson. Her regret is not your business. Do not measure your worth by whether she now pines for you. What matters is that you learned not to overextend your spirit where it was not cherished. As Seneca warned, he who is everywhere is nowhere. If you scatter your devotion endlessly without discernment, you become invisible. Better to be absent with dignity than present without value. Many women, when they lose a good man, pretend not to care. They post carefree photos, they laugh loudly at parties, they date casually. But underneath, they spiral. They replay conversations. They wonder if they pushed too far. They feel the pang of regret, though pride may keep them silent. This is the battle between ego and emotion. The ego whispers, "Do not admit you were wrong. Do not give up power." But the heart whispers louder in quiet hours, "You lost something irreplaceable." And men, here is where your strength is tested. If you break the silence too soon, you rob her of that confrontation. You step back into the role of the ever-available comforter. You confirm her belief that you are permanent, and once again, you are taken for granted. But if you remain steady, not as a tactic, but as a philosophy, living your life, tending to your own growth, embodying the calm detachment of one who needs no external validation, then you free yourself. Her response, whether regret or indifference, becomes irrelevant. You are not playing to her gallery. You are living for yourself. Let me be blunt. If you allow a woman to treat you as replaceable, she will. Not because women are cruel, but because humans adapt to the patterns presented to them. If you always forgive instantly, if you always pursue without pause, if you never draw a line, she will unconsciously assume you are expendable. That is not malice. It is psychology. The Stoics would tell you, do not curse her for it. Instead, ask why you allowed it. Ask what part of you believed love meant losing yourself. Heal that part, because once you value yourself rightly, no one can undervalue you without your consent. A woman's true longing begins not when you prove yourself endlessly, but when you stop proving. When you carry yourself with quiet confidence, when you embody the peace of a man who knows his worth, she feels it. It unsettles her precisely because it is rare, and even if she never admits it, she will remember you. She will compare others to you, and she will know she lost more than she realized. That is her burden to carry, not yours. In this, you find the core of Stoicism applied to love. Do not hinge your worth on another's recognition. Live by your principles. Detach from what is outside your control. And remember, the greatest power you hold is over yourself. That, my dear, is when you stop being taken for granted, not because she changes, but because you have. Now let us look deeper into what happens when ego collides with regret, when she sees you thriving without her, and when you finally embrace the Stoic path that frees you from the endless cycle of needing to be validated. The inner battle, ego versus emotion. When a woman begins to miss a man she once dismissed, it is not a quiet process, it is turmoil. Her ego, that proud defender, insists, stay strong, don't let him see you care. He should have tried harder. But her emotions whisper, you pushed away someone rare. You misjudged him. You long for him. This battle wages internally, and many women mask it with outward indifference. They may post cheerful updates, flirt casually, or appear carefree. But these are not signs of peace. They are signs of conflict. As a woman who has counseled younger ones through these storms, I can tell you plainly, ego is a poor master. It blinds us from admitting fault until it is too late. But emotion, especially the memory of being cherished by a good man, eventually breaks through. And when it does, the regret is sharp. Here lies your lesson as a man. Do not tether yourself to her inner battle. Whether she admits her regret or hides behind pride is not yours to solve. The Stoics would remind you, if it is not yours, do not carry it. Her struggle is hers. Your task is not to force her to see your value, but to embody it quietly and consistently for yourself. The sting of seeing you thrive. Now let us speak of one of the most powerful shifts, when a woman sees a man thriving without her. Make no mistake, this is when the missing grows deepest. Immediately after separation, she may still feel in control, assuming you will linger in her shadow. But when weeks pass and she observes you growing lighter, stronger, more fulfilled, something within her fractures. Perhaps she sees your photos at events, smiling in ways you never did while bound by her coldness. Perhaps she hears of your new habits, your progress, your renewed sense of direction. She notes your calm, your lack of bitterness, your absence of desperation. And this unsettles her more than any angry words could. Why? Because she realizes she no longer holds sway over you. She cannot summon you back with a look, a message, or a tear. You have stepped into the power of a man who knows he is sufficient without external approval. I recall the words of Marcus Aurelius. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This is your task. Do not prove your worth to her. Become the man who thrives because he lives by principle. The irony is that this very growth often ignites her deepest regret, but whether she regrets or not is irrelevant. The victory is that you have reclaimed yourself. The silence that teaches. Silence, when practiced with peace, is not absence. It is presence in its purest form. When you stop pursuing, when you no longer explain, justify, or plead, you hand her the most powerful mirror, herself. Many women crumble before this silence. They interpret it as rejection, even if they were the ones who withdrew first. They feel replaced, unsettled, unnerved. Because for years they assumed your love was permanent, that your energy would always be available. Do not misunderstand. Silence is not a weapon. It is discipline. It is the choice not to expend energy where it is not honored. It is the embodiment of Epictetus's wisdom. It is not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. By choosing silence, you react with dignity rather than desperation. In this way, silence becomes your shield. It protects you from entanglement in games of ego. It reminds you daily that peace does not depend on her recognition. And whether she interprets your silence as strength, indifference, or rejection is none of your concern. Your concern is only this: are you living by your principles? The trap of being replaceable. Now, I must speak plainly. If you allow yourself to be treated as replaceable, you will be. Not because women are cruel, but because all humans adapt to the signals we receive. If you continually overgive, over-pursue, and never set boundaries, you train her to believe you are a man with no alternatives, a man who will tolerate anything. A woman cannot respect what she can easily control. This is not cynicism, it is human nature. If she knows you will chase regardless of her behavior, she loses the instinct to rise to her best. Here again, the Stoics offer guidance. Seneca reminds us, "He who does not prevent a wrong when he can, commands it." By tolerating neglect, you command it. By permitting disrespect, you invite more. The cure is not resentment, but recalibration. Withdraw where your effort is not matched. Offer dignity only where it is honored. This is not a tactic to win her back. It is a philosophy to free your soul. Once you adopt it, you will never again be trapped in cycles of being undervalued. What women truly miss. Many men believe women miss the flowers, the dates, the sweet words. What we miss most is the feeling of being truly seen. A good man notices our moods, our small joys, our hidden fatigue. He forgives our flaws without harshness. He makes us feel safe in a way shallow men cannot replicate. But when he finally steps away, calmly, without anger, that absence haunts us. Because we begin to see that such men are rare, and once rare things are lost, they cannot be easily replaced. Yet here's the Stoic wisdom. You must not live your life hoping to become the ghost that haunts her. Your task is not to make her remember you. Your task is to live so rooted in virtue that whether she remembers you or not, you remain unshaken. Epictetus would ask, what is yours? Your reasoned choice. What is not yours? Another's opinion of you. Do not chase what is not yours. Remain with what is. Rebuilding yourself. So what then is the path for a man who has been taken for granted? It is not revenge. It is not bitterness. It is not proving to her or anyone else that you are worthy. The path is inward. You must examine what in you allowed her treatment to persist. Did you confuse love with servitude? Did you cling to the hope that if you gave enough, she would awaken to your worth? Heal that part. Restore your boundaries. Root yourself in self-respect. Begin tending to your life as a Stoic tends to his soul, with discipline, with calm, with focus on what is within his control. Improve your body, not for validation, but for strength. Cultivate your mind, not for admiration, but for wisdom. Build your craft, your purpose, your friendships, your faith, not as displays, but as pillars of your own flourishing. When you live like this, something powerful happens. You stop being haunted by the question of whether she misses you. You no longer measure your worth in her regret. You know, as Marcus Aurelius knew, that the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, and your thoughts are yours to govern. The final lesson. Let me leave you with this, from the voice of a woman who has lived long and learned much. Do not resent women for taking men for granted. Do not call them cruel or manipulative or heartless. Most do not intend harm. But human nature, left untrained, drifts toward complacency. That is why men must ground themselves not in the shifting sands of others' recognition, but in the bedrock of their own values. If she regrets, let her regret. If she remembers, let her remember. If she forgets, let her forget. None of these alter who you are. You are not here to be endlessly available, nor to be an afterthought. You are here, as the Stoics would say, to live in accordance with nature, to think clearly, to act justly, to speak truthfully, and to carry yourself with dignity. When you embody that, you no longer worry about who misses you. You no longer fear silence. You no longer dread being taken for granted, because you have found what no one can take, the freedom of self-mastery. And in that freedom lies the greatest irony. The very moment you no longer need her to see your worth is the moment she sees it most clearly. But by then, you are already free.